last time I was with you, I was surprised by the question that came out. And in the answer, there was a lot about like being allowed to feel. And I understood it that the parts, it's questionable if the parts feel that it's allowed to feel, that this is a touchy subject or like a critical concern for many of the parts or some of the parts. And I've experimented with sort of saying to them internally that it's allowed to feel, that I permit them to feel. And I accept that maybe they felt that they weren't allowed to feel or it's dubious or hard. But it doesn't really land in my system. And I was going to ask, is there something that they would like to say about my method of wanting to sort of coach them with maybe not a mantra, but like a very succinct message to them from me? Because I don't work well with inner imagery at this time. It gets really chaotic and they get scared. So is there something they have to say as a feedback about this idea or attempt that I'm making to sort of speak more to them internally?
They're talking about telling them their words that they said were spend time feeling one drop of this, but I get a sense that there's a lot more they want to say about that. Okay, what do you want to say about this? Spend time feeling one drop of this. What do you want to say? Okay, again, they're saying spend time feeling one drop of this. They're saying they may say that again. They may feel this within themselves, or they may send that to you. A drop can be any size they wish, and is deemed comfortable by the other parts around this.
Mm-hmm.
Their words are all parts pitch in here.
Mm-hmm.
Give your opinion on a good size of a drop. Anything that is even uncomfortable for one part is too big. Make it small enough to where it's okay for everybody. Even an inkling of a drop is plenty to begin with. I mean, they're, and then they just kept saying yes, 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 yes. What are you saying with this? They're giving me this sense of like, I mean, it is like, okay, so, because I was sewing earlier. So they're showing me like this sewing needle. It's teeny tiny. I got the tiny one at first and realized that was a little too tiny, but they're showing that teeny tiny one, right? And imagine if you could have a drop of water that was even smaller than the tip of that sewing needle, so like super massively tiny. And they're saying that is plenty. It is plenty, 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 plenty. And it's like they're showing as if it's in my body. And I just have this massively vague, like very, very vague, 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 vague sense of something there. It's like actually kind of difficult to articulate. And they're saying it doesn't need to be articulated. Even if you're like, say this again. They're talking about even if you're just grasping the sense of it, that is enough to start with this. Whatever it is that is comfortable for everyone, start with that. And they're really emphasizing start with that, start with that, start with that, start with that. Yeah, they're just saying it's the beginning of the process of allowing them to feel whatever it is that they feel and making that safe too.
Yeah, it makes sense to me in the sense that the ability to feel well and feel strongly has been kind of a little bit weaponized, I guess, in my family and in my system. So when you say that the surrounding parts also have to be fine with the degree or the level, otherwise they will act to shut it down, is my addition to that from my experience of my system. So that makes sense to me, that it's not about like gaining some sort of cathartic release or anything. It's like getting trust more, you know?
And they're saying creating safety around it. They're talking about creating enormous safety around it. Like this does create enormous safety around it. It's safe in a lot of ways. Like it's not just safe because it's a tiny amount, and so it's non-threatening to other parts. It's also safe. They're saying it's also safe because it shows that a tiny amount leads to somewhere good. So like parts that do have this idea that it has to be a big, huge cathartic release or else no progress is being made and nothing is happening. They are saying something is happening. And over time that shows with this.
Yeah. So I could experiment with things like, if I was going to say like, let's scale this back to the smallest possible sensing of how this feels together, and everybody gets to pitch in and what is enough and what is sufficient at this time. And I could be like, I can be coaching in that kind of movement, rather than, oh, let's give everybody permission to feel, you know. Am I getting what they're saying more right when I say that?
Yes, and they were also saying, what is this? They're talking about if you or a part of you, if there's this sense of not sure. Like, I feel like I'm probably okay with that, but I'm not sure. They're talking about like 98, 99% sure, but there's just this little tug of hesitation. They're saying cut the amount in half then.
Mm, mm.
They're talking about like when everyone feels good about this. Like they're even talking about some parts are going like they're just like I mean it's so tiny, like that's got to be harmless, like this like some part who is concerned about a drop this size is looking at this. I mean it is almost microscopic how small this drop is, and so this part that was concerned about a drop this size looks at the microscopic drop and is like, this is ridiculous. I'm out of here. This is boring. I don't want anything to do with this because the part is so non-concerned about it. It is really about just cut it down in half, cut it to a quarter, whatever feels like kind of absurdly safe. I mean, like if it feels absurdly safe, go with it.
I'm laughing inside now because in my head I'm just hearing, okay, so we go for homeopathic levels of feeling.
Oh, they're like cut the homeopathic levels in half.
Okay, thank you so much, Emmy, and everybody.
Oh, you're welcome.